Come in. Hi, welcome.
Hi.
Let's have a seat.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you so much for coming here. And this is our first meet. And my name is Ratu. You may call me Miss Ratu, whatever you want to call me. And before we start, can you please introduce yourself a little bit?
My name is Fanny Anisananda, and you can call me Fanny for short. I'm 22 years old, currently a senior psychologist.
Nice. Welcome, Fanny, and as I said, this is our first meeting, so I want to let you know before we start, everything that we're gonna talk here in this room is gonna be our secret, and this topic is only just between us, so you can freely tell your story, you can freely tell about everything you want to tell to me, and I'll for sure give it just between us. Okay?
Alright.
Okay, let's start from how are you feeling today or lately?
I feel the same. Actually, this is the first time I came here, to be honest, to psychologist, to psychologist. After a long time that I secretly have this kind of feeling, and I think about to came here about 1,000 times maybe, because I think that I may be afraid the most of my parents. Actually, I'm afraid that my parents will judge me, because of course they have the high expectation for me, and also a lot of people think that if you came to a psychologist, it means that you're crazy or like you're mentally ill. And honestly, about the feeling, I don't know how to answer that. I just feel tired and don't get enough sleep, but not physically that I'm tired, maybe mentally. I don't know.
Okay. So you mentioned before that you are tired, but not physically tired. And can you a little bit more describe to me? Can you give me like a description more about that feelings?
Well, it's kind of hard for me to say, but maybe for you it's easier. You know, when you feel like you want to getting out from bed, but you can't. Maybe just the easier things you do every morning. But for me, it was the hardest part. I feel empty, unmotivated, and even though I have a lot of deadlines, you know, my thesis, everything, I just feel like it procrastinating.
Okay. So you say that you're feeling empty and heavy. At the same time, you need to keep on a lot of expectation from outside, from your parents, from your family, and you feel just so tired by doing nothing. And I know it must be so exhausting. And you also mentioned that this is the final result after a long time to think you want to come to psychologist or no, and what kind of reason that make you keep on decision to come to here.
Well, yeah, as I said before, I feel stuck. Everyone thinks that I'm okay, and will graduate soon. But I feel like I can't keep going, Everyone thinks that I'm doing well in organization, in campus, at home, friendship. Everything thought that I'm a perfect daughter. I can do everything. I can do anything that I want. Well, they think I'm Iron Man. Well, I'm not. I'm not a superhero. I'm a human. Maybe the reason that I have the ability to come here, have the courage, because for the first time, I want someone that listens to my problem first, that I deeply keep to myself. I feel like I want to scream, I want to cry. I feel tired to keep it out for myself, and nobody does for me, And yeah, maybe because I've always grown up and let myself be alone, and nobody's here for me. Like, I've always pushed people whenever I feel like I need one.
Okay, so we can say that this is your first time to talk to someone about your problem. And also, I just want to remind you that you are not alone anymore. You have me. You can talk to me every time you want, and you can tell me everything you want to tell me, and you are not alone anymore. And about that expectation, you can just ignore for a reason, because it can help you to be better for yourself. But first thing first, I want to ask, when did you first start this feeling?
I think it started around the beginning of this final semester. At first I was excited to work on my thesis because, it's my final year. I'm gonna graduate soon. I will have the next step of my life, the next my career. But as time went on, I couldn't focus at all. Sometimes I just cry for no reason. I can suddenly crying when eat and take a shower, or maybe when I'm doing nothing. I could find myself crying deeply. But the more I'm crying, the more that I feel I don't want anyone to hear my cry. And sometimes I can hold my cry for 3 days, maybe a week, because I feel like I can hold the cry, and if I cry, I'm a weak person. I don't want someone seeing me at my lowest time. Like, I know everyone has their own problem, but sometimes I feel like I'm lost. But at the same time, I also want to be found. Yeah, like that.
Okay, it must be so tiring for you because you need to hold cry. And I'm here to tell you that you actually don't need to hold your cry. You can cry whenever you need to. And if you don't want people know that you're crying, you can just cry in the shower. You can just cry under your blanket, or you can go to garden maybe just to cry. And about your thesis, you mentioned it before. Do you think the pressure is mostly coming from your educational responsibilities?
Well, mostly yes. My thesis, family expectation. They want me to finish it quickly as possible, and get a good grades, find a good job, married maybe. But I feel like I can't keep up. I feel like the time is running through me. At first, I joined a lot of organization, campus, international organization, for me to escape from these tired feelings, so I don't feel empty. But the more I'm join this organization, the more I meet people, I feel even emptiness. Sometimes I kinda envy to everyone that can open up to their friends, to their family, so their family can guide them, support them, someone to rely on. I don't have one. My parents are always proud of me. They always talk about me to relatives, to people, to random people, talk about me. The thing is, the more they talk about me, the way I can feel pressure. Well, I was a high achiever since I was a kid. And some of my teachers, till this day, still ask about me to my mom. Is Fanny still have the good grades? Is she doing well at school, you know? And when I'm trying to do this thesis, I feel like what I've studied before is nothing. It makes me like, why I have to do this? Till when I have to do this? Why is no one here for me to tell me that you can stop, you can rest? I'm that tired. I just want to sleep and feel calm. Just simple as that. But no one there for me. I've always relied on myself since I was a kid. Maybe because because I'm the oldest daughter. I have a younger brother, and he, of course, relied on me. But yeah, that's all.
Okay, so from your story, we can say that your mother, especially, put a lot of expectation and high expectation on you. She always keeps talking about you to her friends, to your family, and to everyone she meets. But at the same time, it praise you in another way. And it seems like you got a lot of pressure from outside, but it sounds also you're also putting a lot of pressure on yourself, right? Because you say that you're trying to join a lot of communities, you join a lot of clubs just to make you feel not lonely anymore. We can say that you also put a lot of pressure on yourself, right?
Maybe. I feel like if I fail, I'll disappoint everyone. And I can't fail. If I fail, my mother will sad, depressed maybe. My dad, he's working so hard for me to get to this level, and everything that my parents do will be nothing. As I mentioned before, I have a younger brother. He's always rely on me, and he always looking me as the figure that perfect and successful life. And I don't want my brother saw me like this, like his older sister, the one that he trusts, that he's always proud of, is depressed, you know. I love my family that much, maybe, but at the same time, my family put a lot of pressure on me. They have the high expectation, you know.
Okay, so you love your family so much, and you don't want they to be disappointed by you. So, and you mentioned your fear of disappointing others. Can I ask, from whom do you feel the most pressure?
Maybe my mom, because she's always say, "You're the oldest, you have to set a good example," you know. And I feel like I always have to be strong and successful. My mom had this specific dream that said, if I succeed in life, I can live everywhere, bring her to this country, that country, I can do whatever I want, I can buy anything that I want. And unfortunately, my dad, he's pretty old right now, and I feel like my time with my family is little. I don't have enough time to make them proud if I postponed everything that I did. I want my parents see me succeed, have a family. I want my parents show me that I do well in this life. I want my parents attending my wedding, see me have a kids. But at the same time, I also need rest, as I can say. But whenever I try to open up to them, their answer will be like, of course, you're the oldest daughter. You need to be the good example for your siblings. I want to stop, badly want to stop and doing whatever I want. But again, if I do that, all of the dreams stop with me. Every expectation, every proud that they talk to people, I stop. And I can't rest that. I feel like the time is come after me that I can't even see it. And I feel like till when I need to be like this. chasing things that I don't even know what to chase and where to go.
It's completely understandable. That's a heavy burden to carry. Being a role model while also being a human, who need rest, someone who can feel overwhelmed too, someone who actually need a lot of break between the problems, and your reason to come here is completely understandable. But you always think about other people expectation, you always think about other people comments on you. But what do you think about those expectations that your family put on you?
Well, yeah, because I'm tired. But the more I think I'm tired, the more that I'm afraid that they will think I'm weak. And I don't like to be weak. I don't like everyone seeing me as a weak person, you know. I'm the oldest daughter. I need to be strong. I need to be like a supermodel, like a superhero, you know. But all of that, all of those expectations makes me unaware and like don't trust myself. Am I able to do this? Am I that capable to do this? Can I be the one that they think of? What if I didn't do what they expect from me? Am I gonna be the senior daughter in the whole world? But again, I can't do that. I'll feel guilty to them in my life. But if I keep going to what my parents want me to do, I don't like I can continue my life. I want to live, of course. This is my life. But my parents lives in me. And a lot of people say that you're dead once, but you live every day. But for me, no. You live once and you die after. So why don't I just stop and rest? Isn't that too much to ask? My family always support me, of course, academically. But why for once I don't feel like any support in this life? Maybe the support that I want is mentally support that I didn't get since a long time. For the first time I feel stuck and I just want rest. I want to sleep. Just that's
Okay, that's start to sounds really serious, and I feel you also an Iron Man, as you mentioned before, because you are a strong girl. You carry a lot of expectation, a lot of like problems on you, but you still here strongly talk to me, and that's a great start. That's a great beginning for you, for your future, and as you said, you really deserve to be rest, and you need to rest also. because you are a strong but still human. You are the strongest girl I've ever seen here in my room. But if may I know, when you feel this way, how does your body react to you?
Well, my body, I get headaches a lot. My heart races whenever I open my laptop. I don't know what it scares me the more, the thesis or family expectations. Sometimes I can't even eat properly, but the other day I can eat full meal with snacks at once. And one day I found myself walking around the city from sunrise to midnight. Crazy, I know. And without feeling what's that called? Sometimes I feel pain in my chest that I can't even describe. And it hurts so bad that I can take it out, and I can't sleep at all. And sometimes I want to hurt myself badly, and sometimes the other day I found myself I want to bang my head onto the wall. But when I started to realize it's not good, it's not healthy at all, I'm trying the other things that maybe can reduce thoughts that I have to bang on. I go to piercing places, and at once I got 2 pairs, and surprisingly it doesn't hurt at all. Even more, found peace. I feel all the burden, all the hurts that I feel went to that pierce. And I got toxic with my body. I found myself one day purposely stopping myself 3 days, 4 days, I can't even remember. And the other day I can eat it all day long and ignore the thoughts before. And mention the sleep that I have. I don't sleep at all a week, and then the week after I can sleep 22 hours. I know it's toxic, but sometimes I found peace in sleep. So whenever I have the time to sleep, I just sleep like there's no day after.
You have a long story, and that's a great for us, because I know you more and we can figure it out from your problems of the days. And you say that you have ever experienced to hurt yourself, but after that thought coming to you, you just go to piercing place to get that piercing and just to hurt yourself, because to being hurt, it's maybe better for you. Actually, you mentioned before you experience the headache, you experience the tiredness of your body, It is actually your body is responding to your stress, Fanny. It's a sign that you may need a rest. And you realize that you are still a human who need rest, who need a break between the problems, and that's completely okay. And from your story, you seems like you keep pushing yourself, even though your mind and your body are asking for a break. And from what you've shared, seems like you have very high standard for yourself. But would you say that's true?
Yeah. I feel like I'm not perfect. Well, nobody's perfect, but I'm not even close to perfect.
That's interesting. It's okay. It's okay to be not as perfect as you want, because no one is perfect. And you understand logically that perfection isn't even realistic.
Mm-hmm.
But emotionally, you still feel need to reach it, right?
Exactly. Of course, I'm exhausted.
Really exhausting. You try a lot. You tried a lot of things to be perfect, but you just need to know that no one is perfect, even though you try so hard. And do you remember when you start feeling like you have to be perfect all the time?
Maybe back in high school, I got a bad grade once and got scolded. Since then, I've been afraid of failing. And also, when I was in high school, I really want to be a doctor. I studied all day long, and I'm trying my best. I'm trying so hard to get into this specific university, but I didn't get that, and it makes me feel like even more that I'm a failure. Like, I'm trying my best, I still didn't get what I want. So if I didn't even try, it equals to fail even more. I will completely left behind with everyone's. Nobody wants to near me. Nobody wants someone who isn't perfect. You know, in this society, you have to be the best in life. And lately, I just feel like I don't see the point of anything. I woke up and think, why bother? Why I don't even know what I'm doing all this for anymore. I'm trying this hard. If everyone keep pushing me, if everyone relying on me, to whom I can rely on? To I don't feel like me anymore. I feel my thoughts is completely darkening, and I don't even know what I want anymore.
Okay. Sounds like you've been feeling really helpless. That can be a heavy weight to carry. And Fanny, may I ask, have you ever had thoughts of hurting yourself or ending yourself, or maybe you ever tried to?
Yes, but not all the time. Maybe when it gets really bad, I think it will be easier if I just disappear, so no one will disappointed. I've even tried, I've planned before when the things it gets too much. Well, when I was in high school, I found myself searching on the internet which or how you can die easily without hurting that much. But maybe that time I really am need someone to talk, but of course I don't have anyone. And I planned I was going to the store buy rope to hang myself, but after that thought came, I remember my mom. I don't have the courage to think that my mom will cry on my lifeless body, and the daughter that they always proud of will be lifeless. The sister that my brother always being proud of will be well, yeah, maybe I stop.
Okay, thank you so much for being honest with me. That must been so difficult to say, and I understand you really well. And thank you so much for sharing all this story to me. And I'm really honored to hear the story. And again, you can tell me everything you want to tell me, and I always hear to you. I always listen to your story very well. We can figure it out together, and you are not alone anymore, Fanny. And can we continue? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay.
It's okay.
And you mentioned you ever search about how to do the suicide things without being hurt. That means you actually really want to disappear, but you don't want to be hurt. Maybe because you still love your body, you don't want to be feel that hurt that much. And Fanny, have you thought about how you would do it, or do you have any specific plan to do that?
Well, no, I never planned that, really planned it. I just think that, well, yeah, I made this scenery on my head, and yeah, I never really want to do that, because yeah, at the end of the day, the hurts that I want to be disappeared is just this feeling, this, I don't know, I just want this feeling to be disappear, but yeah.
I'm really glad you told me that way. That means we can talk about it together and make sure you stay safe. You don't have to go through this alone, because you now have me. You can have me everything you want, and I always here. You also must know that. And Fanny, when those thoughts come to you, what you usually do, or what things that helps you to get through that time? because you're still here. You are in front of me right now. That means you survived a lot from that thoughts. You came out from that thoughts.
Well, sometimes I think about my brother. I don't want him to lose me because I suffered alone, and I don't want him to feel the way that I feel. I want my brother have the life that he deserves. He's so smart, and I want him to have the happy life, to be successful, so my parents will also proud of him. Of course they're proud of him, but I feel like my brother always rely on me. So if I go distant, if I go too fast, my brother will not have the person that he can rely on to talk about his problem, to just accompany him whenever he needs someone. So yeah, maybe my brother helps me a lot through this difficult time. And yeah, of course I think about my parents too. They raised me, of course, but my brother's future just different. I just want to keep him safe, and I want him to have the life that he deserves.
Okay, we'll work on that together, Fanny. For now, would it be okay if we made a safety plan for you? Something simple, like who to talk to, or what to do if those things come again.
Yeah, maybe that will help.
Okay, that's nice. We can also look at involving someone you trust and possibly talk about getting additional support, like a psychiatrist or a crisis line. Or maybe you can call me, just so you're not holding all this by yourself. Because I say it again, you are not alone anymore. You have someone around you that still carry you, that still loves you, that still need you. And you've shown a lot of courage today. If you could take just a small step this week to be kinder to yourself, what would it be? What do you want you to be this week?
I think it will be the simple answer. Just sleep. I want to sleep. I want to rest. I want to sleep earlier. I always stay up late even when I'm too tired to think. Physically tired, but mentally I can't sleep. I think a lot. I just need one day to sleep peacefully without thinking about anything. So yeah, the answer is sleep.
Okay, that sounds really great start. Getting enough rest can really help you emotional balance. And when do you want to begin?
Tonight.
Tonight?
Of course.
That's good.
I want to give it a try.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
That's nice. And we talked about our company, and do you have any specific person to talk to whenever that thought comes to you? For now?
For now?
Your brother, maybe?
Well, I don't want him to get burdened, or like maybe no, I don't have someone to talk.
Okay. as we mentioned before, we promised to make a safety plan for you. So whenever that thoughts come to you again, you need to read this promise. This promise will be filled with who's the first person you reach out when this thought came to you. The first answer is gonna be me. You have me right now, and whenever that thoughts come to you, you can reach me out. You can just talk to me, whatever you want to talk to. And then maybe just tell your story about what food did you eat for that day, or maybe just a simple story about your day that day. And yeah. And then the second plan we need to do is what you need to do when that thought come to you. After talk to me, what do you plan to do
After this session?
after the session?
Well, I don't know, maybe got a little treat for me. Maybe
Go to salon?
go to salon, maybe got nails done.
Oh, that's
Maybe
nice.
get some matcha.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You
that
love
would be nice.
matcha,
I
yeah.
love matcha, yeah. Well,
That's
go
great.
for it.
Okay, that's a wise decision. I'm proud of you to making those decision, and I'm so happy to meet you today. And Fanny, thank you for being so open today, and you've shown incredible strength and honesty today.
Thank you. I feel pleasure. Thank you so much.
Okay, we can continue next week in next session with healthier body, with better emotional stable, and we have make promise to meet again in a good condition without any hurt at all. Okay?
Okay, I'll try.
Okay,
Thank you
that's
so
nice.
much.
Thank you so much for
Thank
coming.
you so much. Thank you.
You know. Bye bye.
Bye.